Hey guys, welcome back. I didn't think I was going to have an update this soon, but we have a lot of crazy stuff going on. We have a refund, a very complicated refund to take a look at this Resealed $26,000 booster box. So, first up, if you didn't watch the video, you probably want to go watch the video, but if you don't have the attention span or you don't have the ability to do so, it's okay. We're going to watch the clip again right here of the box being opened.
What's up, slabs, guys? Hopefully we don't need them all. Hopefully we get an error box. Like when we did Expedition, we had 14 hollows. That jungle box had 15. We've had a rocket with 15. All right, we're going in. We are going in, ladies and gentlemen. It's minty. It is minty. Let's go.
Oh, baby.
It's minty. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. What does it smell like, dude? It smells like the year 2000. Oh, yeah.
Smells a lot better than that blindfold.
You didn't like the blindfold smell, Bert?
No.
Okay, we're going in. First edition Neo Genesis. Bert, make sure it's pinned. Make sure it is pinned. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, Bert, can you put that in the container it was in, please? Can you put that in the container it was in, please? Okay. Please don't be a fake box. Okay, good. Never has happened, but you're nervous every time until you see. Oh boy, look at those beauties. Look at the. I need my little stand. Yeah. Oh, Bert. Don't be knocking over the camera. Okay. I need my stand. That was on Bert. The Lugia is trying to get out. The Lugia is trying to get out.
Of course you should.
Here we go.
You should join the buy-in.
Here we go. Here we go. Which pack first, guys? Which pack first?
Anne-Marie first.
Which pack first? Here we go. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Guys, Red, we have a fake box.
What?
We have a fake box.
You're kidding me.
We have a fake box. Guys, this is what happens in Pokemon sometimes. We have a fake box. I am going to call my distributor and have a good one, a fresh one overnighted. This is what happens, guys. In Pokemon, it's part of the game.
It is
It's a good learning lesson. This is part of the game. Look at this.
Oh my God.
Look at this. This is fake. This is fake.
So there we have it. We had a lot of comments. I want you guys to comment on this one if you're in agreement or disagreement with me. There's a lot of people complaining that the camera got dropped, but the contents were already shown of the box itself. Lucky for them. If you're doing anything like this, you should have an additional camera that's running just in the background off to the side or something like that, just in case you need to prove anything like this. If you're doing whatnot, if you're doing whatever you're doing, you need to protect yourself. You need to show that this is what it is. There was one side of the booster box that was not shown other than the wrap when it comes off the box itself. I do not believe that there was any shenanigans going on there. There was also the statement that was made by them saying, oh, I hope this isn't a fake box. I don't think that's not really an indicator that they knew it was fake. I think that's something that's pretty common in the space at this point in time, to be like, please don't be fake or something like that, because everyone has seen, there's been fake boxes, there's been expensive fake boxes, there's been inexpensive fake boxes. We've seen it with the Collectibles Guru. We've seen it all over the place. The one that they opened, was it? Oh no, it was Dumb Money. Was Collectibles Guru there for the Dumb Money stuff? He probably was. He was everywhere at one point in time. I don't think there's anything going wrong here. I don't think that these people are the bad actors, or the people before that, or the people before that. We're going to take a look at the chain of custody. So E&A Collectibles were the ones that provided this booster box to the breaker in question. Let's see if we can't move this over a little bit. Make sure that we can see everything on our screen. That's pretty important. There's a lot of stuff we're going to go through today. There's a lot of details. Bear with me. I know any of you guys with the TikTok brain, you're going to have to check the comment section for a TLDR, because we got to include all the information here. It is important. It's going to be a painful amount of information, but here's the rundown. We had E&A Collectibles who purchased the box and had this streamer breaking it. Sold it to the streamer. The streamer was going to break it. They got it from Poketrav. So now E&A Collectibles is calling Poketrav a scammer. More on that soon. So Poketrav is saying that I guess he's a little bit back and forth. He doesn't want to be responsible for it. This is another kind of, I guess, scenario or warning that you should probably have some terms and conditions all laid out with the individuals that are buying the stuff from you, so that if you want to say, oh, you only have a year to open it, and then you can have a refund, then you're good to go. Again, I think it's the responsibility of whoever's selling this stuff to make sure that you have the ability to refund it or put some kind of terms and conditions so that the person that is buying it up front knows, hey, this is a good box. It's got to be good. It's good, or I get my money back based on whatever the sale price was. So Poketrav, who we're going to get into some DMs, we're going to get into some posts here in a second. He wanted a refund from the previous seller, the person that sold it to him. So this is where it gets complicated, because the more hands this changes, the more complicated it's going to get. Because if you got to do a whole refund chain, that it takes one link in the chain that doesn't want to do it, or somebody that doesn't want to do it prior to, and it falls apart. So yes, it depends on what's going on here. But if someone bought it for more and more money, it should kind of come back down the chain. Everyone gets the refund amount that they paid for the box. Now, that could get a little bit complicated too if it was pandemic time. Which it was, which this comes back to, again, with the Hidden Fates packs that are inside. Again, not necessarily a definite indication of what time period this happened during or when it was resealed, but you know it was at least at some point after Hidden Fates was released. Now, Poketrav received it from Philip Chang. I reached out to Philip Chang. I would like to know where he received the box, or his contact, I guess. I guess we know where he got the box. It's one step about that. So again, this is as complicated as it gets. Philip received the box from Tyler from Loose Packs. And Tyler from Loose Packs, due to some DMs leaking a little bit, I found out that Loose Packs received it from someone named Mike Jones. So Mike Jones, if you could please come to the office, Rattle Pokemon would like to speak to you. I'd like to find out where he got the box and what's going on there. If we can trail it all the way back to whoever the bad actor is, then I think that's everyone's going to be better off. And hopefully, if that comes out, if that information is available, people can be on the lookout for potentially other product. Because apparently, Mike Jones was selling other product. It doesn't mean it necessarily all comes from the same source where he got it, but I would like to find out. I think it's pretty important, because if something's coming, I mean, whoever the original person was that owned this box, whenever the story doesn't line up anymore, we might have a bad guy. Now, I don't think anyone's intention here was to rip anyone off, but it got a whole lot of messy because people don't want to refund $26,000. I can't blame them, but it's part of doing business. If you can't do business in that ballpark, if you can't afford to refund somebody in that ballpark, it's my opinion that you shouldn't be playing in that ballpark. You have to be able to make sure that you're gonna write things for your customers. Now, we have Poketrab with some posts here. The people who know me best in the hobby know the whole story. A lot of details have been left out, and if anyone wants to come to me directly, I have no problem speaking to you. And I spoke to Trav. Thank you very much for everyone that has spoken to me, and so far everyone involved, other than Philip, hasn't gotten back to me yet at this point in time. And Mike Jones, again, I would love to find out where you got this box. If you don't have anything to hide, if you're looking to get, I would imagine that Loose Packs at this point in time, according to what they sent me, is trying to get a refund from Mike Jones. And then Mike Jones, if he wasn't the original owner of the box, should be looking to get a refund from whoever that was. And also kind of putting out a little public service announcement that if you got anything else from that person, if they can't provide a receipt or somewhere before that, there is definitely a need for concern. The box was pretty well done. It looks a whole lot like it was Magic the Gathering Wizards of the Coast wrap, which is larger, which you can put onto a box and you can shrink it down. I think everyone, at least at some point or another, acknowledges the fact that this is the box that they all had possession of. So now it's a matter of like, where do we bring it back to who was the original owner? Did you get it from somebody named Justin in British Columbia, in the Western Canada? Was he selling first edition base cases as well? Please be patient. This is not a simple matter. I will be making a full response soon. I will not be rushed to do so. Thank you. I want to make one thing clear. I have never, ever intentionally scammed anyone in my life. If you feel you've been scammed by me, please reach out. And if you can't, reach out to someone who may know me so we can chat. I spoke with one person already who posted something about me, and it was a misunderstanding, and it was handled in a matter of minutes today. I'm here and not going anywhere. Please be patient again, as my response is coming soon. So, like, this is a lot of like preemptive measures that need to be taken when you're dealing with stuff that this. Again, you can do 1,000 boxes, and they're all fine. But as soon as one goes wrong, you need to be ready for that. You need to be extra careful sourcing this stuff. You need to know who it came from, and you need to know who it came from before that. Like, if you have any of this stuff, keep as much documentation as you possibly can. Because if it's a legit box, you want that documentation. You want to know every single owner who had it. You want to know what the original purchase price was. You want the original receipt. All you guys with the product on your shelf behind you, on your IKEA shelf, keep the receipts. If you have the receipts and you're the original owner, it's going to lend credibility up the butt. Now, here's the refund. We have the $26,000. I don't know what the actual refund is. It sounds like it was more than what they paid for it. So they're making it right. Loose Packs is making it right. And immediately I'm like, oh, awesome. This fixes everything. But it's kind of making a mess of things as well, because if the two people after Loose Packs don't want to refund, but Loose Packs is refunding in advance, it makes Loose Packs look like a hero. But it turns out that Loose Packs might not have been wanting to refund to begin with, so now he's kind of throwing the other two people under the bus with Trav and Philip, because it makes them look like they didn't want to do it. But these guys all had contact with each other. All could have done this beforehand, before it blew up, before it became a big deal. Because if Trav was going to get refunded from Philip, who was going to get refunded from Loose Packs, I think he would have, I truly believe that he would have passed it along. Like, I don't think he's there to scam that. He doesn't want to pay out on a fake box that he sold, but he wanted his money beforehand. So this gets a little mucky. So it seems like a good deed. I'm really glad that E&A is getting their money back, but also it's a weird area. We got some weird stuff going on. So Loose Pack says, it recently came to our attention that a box which passed through our possession several years ago has now been deemed inauthentic. After thorough research, we strongly believe that the box was once in our inventory. I think if you have inventory at any point, you need to keep a record of what you sold. You need to keep images. You need to keep video on hand of what it looks like, how it is, because it is very possible. It is very possible, and we've seen potential for it in the past, where a breaker is going to you could probably cut the bottom open pretty easily, pull the packs out, and if you don't show the bottom when you're doing the break, there is a potential there. I don't think that is what happened in this scenario. I don't think they'd be able to cut that side open and hide that. They should have shown all sides. They should have had an additional camera angle. They should have had, especially like extra stuff rolling. Because if the camera got knocked over when they were doing like the cut open process, or at a less opportune time where you didn't already see that the contents were fake, that they weren't first edition packs, that it was, you could see the black packs underneath as well for the Hidden Faith stuff, they could have been in a lot of trouble. They could have been on the hook for that. Not to mention the fact that it was in an acrylic case. There's a lot of people that were saying, oh, it's in an acrylic case. They opened the acrylic beforehand. I think they put the acrylic case on there. I don't think there was no tampered seal or anything on that. There was a sticker that said that it was like up for sale, or people could buy packs or entries or slots or whatever the fuck you want to call them. So that would have been another measure that at the time of sale, if they want to take it out, they take it out. And then when you sell it, you have some tamper-proof stuff on there that you can put on the acrylic case. So that and you tell them, hey, if you take this off, it better be on camera. And if the contents are fake, then you're covered. But yes, you're responsible. If you can't just pass off stolen goods, fake goods, counterfeit stuff, repacked stuff, and just be off scot-free. It's going to be on you, and then it's going to be on you to go after the next person. Don't pay attention to the fake case where apparently they never wanted to go after Justin or even Jacob, who had Shine telling me time and time again that he was going to take legal action on Jacob, who stole money from them. I don't know if he kept money part of the deal, but again, it's my opinion that they were all in on that, and that's why we haven't seen any actual action being taken. Though years have passed and we are unsure if the box is tampered with after leaving our possession, we stand firmly behind the integrity of our products. So that's the thing too. Conditions. Have everything laid out. Have them, if they want to touch and feel it before they purchase, go to town. Once they're done, once they want to make the transaction happen, tamper-proof. There you go. Whoop-de-doo. Check it out. We have taken full responsibility and refunded EA Collectibles 99 to complete the complete value of the box, even more than what we originally paid for it. Always choose to do business with trusted companies. So even more than what we originally paid. I don't know what the condition, how much they paid for it. Again, that would have been, it probably was more expensive back then, but who knows what the percentage they paid of it. And regardless, this is good. It's good news, but it's also bad news for the two people that kind of got bypassed that are now going to get wrung out to dry. So here we have Poketrap, who says, why did you ignore my messages and why did you deny us a refund at the time of the incident, which was months ago? So this is where it gets wild, because now Loosepacks is upset, or not Loosepacks is upset, Poketrap is upset that Loosepacks is refunding, but not involving him, not involving Philip, because it makes them look bad. It makes them look like they didn't want to refund, so then Loosepacks is going to come in and be the hero. But I mean, what should have happened anyway is kind of happening here. Why they couldn't work together on that, your guess is as good as mine. I don't think I have the... I feel like there's a little bit missing here. So Trav says, this has to be the craziest thing to happen. Long story short, I got the box from Philip, who got from Loosepacks. I tried for months to get us all the refund on the box, and Loosepacks denied Philip a refund, stating too many hands have touched it, and too much time has passed. Now, since my name is getting dragged through the mud, he decides to be a superhero in this and send a refund. So we have DMs that are shown here, showing, yes, they did indeed try to work something out. Philip tried to work something out. Trav tried to work something out with Loosepacks originally. Again, it's good that it happened, but it's a little grimy. It's a little weird that they couldn't all just work together and get this done initially. And again, Loosepacks is probably going to get a refund. He refused to put me in contact with Mike Jones. Mike Jones? Not the rapper. I was like, did you guys know Mike Jones? And they're like, oh, no, not the famous Mike Jones. The sealed product Mike Jones that apparently is out there. I do want to talk to you, Mike. And again, it's not a big deal if you got it from somewhere else. I just want to know where this was sourced from originally. I want to know where the trail ends. Took him almost 2 weeks to respond and completely ignored the issue at hand. So there's mentions in the DMs here that are between Philip and Loosepacks that indicate that it was Mike Jones and that Mike Jones was selling other product, that Mike Jones had sold product directly to Philip as well. So we got to find out. We got to figure out what's wrong here, what's going on here. And again, this is why like chain of custody is super important, because if you find out somebody was selling a ton of resealed stuff, or wherever this like original source, wherever it leads back to, maybe it's before Mike Jones, but we need to figure that out, because there could be a whole lot of more boxes that are going to cause this same problem. And if it's somebody that's been doing this over and over again, it doesn't take long to get up into the federal level investigation type things. With $26,000 boxes at a time, and probably more than that if it was back during the pandemic, doesn't take long to get in the hundreds of thousands. And if you did it with one box, you probably didn't just do it with one box. Now we have Poketrap here, some more DMs. Again, everyone was trying to solve the issue. The issue couldn't be solved. It becomes public. Unfortunately, some stuff needs to become public before people will just fix it. But I don't know if this was the ideal solution. So here is some of the text from Poketrap. Send it to me. He's a little bit back and forth because he didn't know what to do. He wanted to essentially refund the stuff if he could get a refund, but then he didn't want to. And then also he's claiming like he can't refund forever. But that's where it becomes important that if you're going to have an authenticity guarantee, or if you're going to have a deal of some kind of this magnitude, you need to know what the ins and outs. You need to know how long you're going to guarantee it for. If you're not going to guarantee it whatsoever, I mean, I wouldn't recommend buying from anyone that isn't going to guarantee it whatsoever. But if it's a year later and it gets opened and there's no stipulation, so Poketrap is claiming that at his website it said like authenticity guarantee. It's now removed from the website. He was saying that was more to do with the fact that he was doing breaks. So. And then also Trav is going to outline the fact that there's sketchiness going on with the video. I don't think that sketchiness is relevant. I think at points he acknowledges that it's just the duration that's the problem. But again, all this stuff needs to be ironed out before you make a $26,000 transaction. I don't care if you do 1,000 of those transactions. It needs to be out. It needs to be in writing. People need to know what the stipulations are, what needs to happen. And that's about it. Now, we have the Loose Packs DMs. And this gets interesting because he says, avoiding Travis was intentional, as resolving his personal business matters is beyond our scope. At Loose Packs, we handle a substantial volume of business, moving hundreds of booster boxes annually. Given the seriousness of the situation, we needed an appropriate amount of time to thoroughly investigate and verify whether the compromised box had once been part of our inventory. I mean, this is stuff that should have been handled by them if they wanted to handle this through the DMs, through the other people. And even if they wanted to make sure that that the transaction was going to go all the way up back to EA, they could have done that, and they could have worked together to just have this done. Like, again, it's just one of those things where you're doing the right thing, but are you doing the right thing because there's incentive to do it when it's public, when it's been traced back that you had the box, that the box looked the same, that you sold it's going to happen there. And you have to also take that into consideration when you're doing business in Pokemon cards, whether you're selling on eBay, whether you're buying and selling expensive stuff here, whether you're buying and selling at shows, whatever it might be. There are going to be times where you get scammed. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be the most expert individual. You could have finger banged 1,000,000 WotC boxes. One will get by you eventually. And you got to incorporate that. You got to take into consideration you're going to get scammed eventually. So you need to mitigate as much risk as possible, but also you need the checks and balances and everything, the documentation, the plan. If things go wrong, you need to know what you're going to do. Whether it's a $20 card or whether it's a $26,000 booster box. The box went through the hands of other parties before Travis, and sending a $26,000 reimbursement for a box that had been out of our possession for more than 2 years was not something we wanted to rush. Also, I'd like to know what the other purchase prices were. I don't think they're going to disclose that necessarily, but if it would have been cheaper, if they're maybe they're still making money off of this. I don't know what this would have went for back when they purchased it, but not something we wanted to. I mean, not making money, but paying out less essentially. We needed to be absolutely certain. After carefully reviewing all available evidence, it became abundantly clear that this box had indeed been part of our inventory. I'm going to ask them regardless to see if they'll tell me what the purchase price was at each step along the way. Not to criticize anyone for like marking things up, because again, these are business transactions. Some of them might have been a loss if we're kind of looking at that, because they worded it as though they're going to refund more than they paid for it. But what were the sales in between? As soon as this went, I get like the people in between benefit, other than the fact that it's going to make them look bad, because everyone's gonna be like, oh, they wouldn't refund, so Loose Packs had to do it, that kind of thing. But they get to keep them. They're kind of off scot-free, either on the financial end of things, not necessarily on the public criticism or reputation end. As soon as this was confirmed, we reached out to EA to rectify the situation, recognizing that they were the affected party. While we were pursuing recourse from our buyer, it is unlikely that we will receive a refund given the time that has passed. I can't imagine why they wouldn't. I mean, if they had the same box, if it was resealed, I don't think it should really matter how much time has passed. I don't think there should be necessarily blame put on anyone for accidentally buying. I mean, everyone involved here accidentally bought a resealed product, from what I'm seeing. I don't think there was any tampering throughout this chain of custody. So it happened before. It happened Mike Jones and earlier. So the transactions kind of need to be whatever that dollar value was. You just kind of write it off. Okay, I didn't make money on that transaction. Whoever it goes back to, as far back as you can possibly go, until hopefully it goes to the original perpetrator that resealed the box itself. Now, there's a good chance that they're not going to. They are not going to refund that. There's probably little to no chance that they're going to do that, unless they've gotten away with so much and they're selling other stuff. Maybe they. I can't see it. I can't see a scammer pushing a refund through, unless they want to kind of get off scot-free. Please please feel free. I can't even speak this morning. To reach out if you need any further clarification. We're happy to discuss this further. I say, who sold it to you? Was it the Mike Jones that was referenced? I'd like to speak with the person who sold it to you to see where they got it. Do you have the date that you purchased it on? So he says, I'd prefer to leave that party's information out of it since we are trying to seek our own recourse. February 2022. So Hidden Fates, 2019, February 2022. We got a few years in there that might have happened. Again, the Hidden Fates packs, just, it's not a clear indication, but we're getting closer to that 2019 marker. I mean, if we go any further than that, then we need to be concerned. All right, we have some final clips here that I want to play that Poketrav posted in video format, just to include everything. Watch them if you wanna. Let's give them a look.
What's up, everybody? Crazy 24 hours, I'll tell you that. The plot thickens. I tried to tell multiple people there is way more information than what ENA is portraying in this situation. There are, what I will say, 3 to 4 main points that ENA missed in his entire, I guess, threat that his lawyer sent to me, and what you guys are all seeing on Instagram. This video is going to end shortly, so I will be posting another video right after this, and I do really appreciate all the support. Listen, this hobby is not easy. It's not, but you have to stay true to who you are, and if you feel like you're doing the right thing, you gotta stay true to it. All right, so I'm going to do a rapid fire of the 3 things why I was not going to be sending a refund. 1, I sold the box to ENA almost a year ago. He's had the box in his possession for over 10 months. In that period of time, he's stating that he was not able to authenticate the box before sending it to said streamer. The said streamer had the box for also over a month. In that 11-month period of time, there has been no photos or videos of the box. ENA did not send any photos to the buyer of the box, and the streamer did not take any photos or videos of the box. The only videos or photos we have are when the box was purchased from myself, and then the stream is what we have. Now I'm going to be saying another point right after this one. I stand by my decision. I never, ever told ENA or anybody I do business with that I 100%, you gotta be clear with this, 100% guarantee authenticity of the sealed products that I sell or the contents of the box. My website that is on ENA's legal document or whatever has not been updated except recently for well over a year. I have not sold anything on there since 2022. That website was old. That authentic guarantee was for when I was doing live box breaks very, very frequently. And for my old supporters, they know I was breaking live on YouTube all the time. And I was guaranteeing authenticity because I'm doing a live box break. I would only guarantee authenticity on sealed product if the box is opened, tamper sealed, or if you, in a reasonable amount of time, open the box and it is confirmed to be unauthentic. Loose packs. Message you again an hour ago. Still haven't.
So the reasonable amount of time thing is it leaves too much up to opinion or based on like what everyone could have a different feel for what a reasonable amount of time is. Like someone might think 5 years is reasonable because if the law says, you know, they can seek recourse on 5 years, then it's 5 years. But if you have something in writing, if you have something laid out, terms and conditions beforehand, you would completely remove any of this back and forth. And it's important. It's not important on something that's, $20. It's important on something that's $26,000.
Not heard anything from.
So here is, this is essentially stories that begin or starts to discuss the refund from loose packs.
You. I try to be the bigger person. I try to reach out to you directly months ago when this first came up. I was ignored. I'm continued to be ignored. I do not know why. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't care if the box didn't come from you directly. I've done millions of dollars with you. I trusted you more than Philip. I wanted to get at your side of the story. You're part of this just as much as I am. It doesn't make any sense why I'm being ignored. And now you want to be the superhero to then show the world that you are a good, reputable source. Both times I've received resealed boxes. They've come from you, man. They've come from you. Never, ever from anybody else. The thousands of boxes I have sold never had a resealed issue. 2 of them from me have come from you. What do you got to say about that? Number 3 and 4, the streamer did not show all sides of the box. You can double, triple check. One side is not shown live on the video.
So I think this part, I think deep down, I think Trav, I think everyone involved believes that this was already resealed beforehand. He didn't show one side of the box. The time and effort, like people think that you can just like rewrap a box and make it look identical. You can't. You would have to stretch it extra. You would have to put it, even if you use the same wrap. And the wrap it's essentially an indication. The same with like a hollow pattern, same with damage or anything like that on a card. You can identify no 2 booster boxes. It's a snowflake. Every snowflake is different. I think mathematically they discovered that they could be the same, but there are more snowflakes probably in the world than there are booster boxes. The wrap on it, the way that it's stretched, the way the logos look, the way the logos wear, the way that the wrap itself wears, the way it sits on the box, you can't replicate. You can't make the same thing twice. Very distinct. Again, it didn't have to match anything for them to take WotC wrap from a Magic product that the wrap is larger and they can wrap it in around. But to take off that wrap and put it back on there and only be able to do it through the side, it's just not going to happen. Again, if they weren't showing the whole bottom or something of that sort, they still messed up by not having a second camera angle, by not having something that they showed all sides, and because it was a near miss. They like knocked that camera over right when the box is getting cut open. GG. It's over.
And before the streamer opened the box, he quoted, you can watch the video as well, that he hopes the box isn't resealed. Very weird thing to say from a streamer. Also, ENA says that they've sold this person many products before and they are trusted. So why all of a sudden on this one box that ends up being resealed do they state that comment? That's just a major red flag. Not showing all the sides and then stating that they hope the box isn't resealed. Just a major red flag. And yeah, I mean, I can't be giving out refunds to people after owning a product for almost a year. No business will. It doesn't make any sense. Also, yeah, this is the last video I'm going to make. This has been an absolute shit show. I tried to do the right thing months ago and get everybody a refund. That didn't play out, and look where it's got us now. Obviously, I understand where ENA is coming from. You know, he wanted a refund on a box that he thought was authentic. I get it. But at the same time, I can't know for 1000% sure that box hasn't been touched by that streamer or hasn't been touched at all. Too much time has passed.
Precautions can be taken. Again, acrylic, put the seals on it. Get some seals made up that are unique to you, that have a serial number on it and everything else. Inform them when they're buying it. If they're going to open it, they got to show the seals. And then you don't have to be responsible for anyone after that takes it out, that diddles it, or whatever they do. Make that part of your guarantee. If you want to add a deadline as well, make that upfront and known as well, because people might not want to make the purchase whatsoever if you're not going to guarantee it for an extended amount of time, because they might not plan on opening it right away. If it's not going directly to a breaker, they probably don't want to open it right away.
This is not a hobby where you're asking for year-long returns. PWCC doesn't even do guaranteed authenticity. They open the box. Heritage doesn't do guaranteed authenticity. Golden doesn't do guaranteed authenticity. And to ask it from me after a year, it just doesn't make any sense. And one last thing, to everybody that wanted me to post right away, That's not how I do things. I was sent a legal documentation from ENA's attorney, and I needed to speak to my legal team. Yes, I have an entire legal team dedicated to myself. I don't take threats lightly. This is my business. You attack my business, you are attacking my family. I need to protect that. So I needed time to digest everything and talk to my legal team. I've been nothing but responsive to ENA. I've been polite. I've been professional. He states I have not been, which is ironic. I would love to see any sort of messages I sent to him that were not professional. He has sent me threats, verbal abuse, and continues to do that publicly right now to all of you. And if you support that, that's totally fine. Everybody has their opinion, but I'm not going anywhere.
So there we have it. Oh, okay, this has nothing to do. That's the black label trophy card. The number 3 trainer with the black label. Absolutely insane. All right, thanks guys for tuning in. Again, I'm still on the case. I still want to talk to Philip, and I still want to talk to Mike Jones. If anyone has Mike Jones's contact information, please send me a DM or please ask him to reach out to me. We'll see where this goes. I'd very much like to bring it all the way back to the original owner, the original resealer. If we can do that, I think we'll be doing a great service to everyone involved, and potentially clean up some messes before they get even worse, before they become something like this or even worse than this. Because if it's 20 years from now and people find out it's resealed, the damage can be pretty outstanding. I mean, we have some weird scenarios where it might be less damage now because pandemic is come and gone. But years and years from now, I can't imagine this stuff won't be even more expensive, won't be even more owners that are flipping and dipping this stuff. You got people at conventions, people online that are just, flipping this stuff back and forth. A lot of dollars, a lot of hassle bringing it all the way back to the original crook that did this. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining the Discord. Love you guys. Hit up the link tree. Get on the old card market, on the old Troll and Toad with code Rattle5. Supports the channel. Again, I want to be able to make content that is, it's got to be, this is important content. It's important to have all the receipts here. I know it's not the most digestible, but we gotta have all our checks and balances. That's the goal of the channel. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to present everything in its entirety, at least as much information, important information as I can gather, so that we can get to the bottom of this. Most importantly is that we're looking out for each other out there, and not that we're G-Baller69 extreme YouTubers. I'm not going to scream at you. I'm not going to rush through things. Here it is. That's it. See you next time. Bye.